Hey everyone, it's Allison from Determined to Shine, and I'm super excited that you are here today. I have a side-by-side walkthrough for you of the Enchanted Map Oracle Cards by Colette Baron-Reid. Now, this deck was originally released in, I believe, 2011. It's been widely loved by people all over the world, including myself, but some updates were made, and so they released a brand new version that I just got about an hour ago, and I think has only been shipping for a week or two. So I know a lot of people have had questions about what has stayed the same and what is different, so I wanted to do a side-by-side walkthrough before I send this copy on to its new owner. I had already decided to let this deck go because there were a few ways in which I just wasn't feeling super connected to it. I didn't love the borders and was just, even though the art is so beautiful and the meanings are so powerful, I had just kind of decided that it was time to let it go. Then I watched a video by Lisa Papez over on her channel, Lisa at Supportive Tarot, and she had done a mod where she cut the borders off and it looked so beautiful, so I decided to keep it. And then the new version was announced, which was borderless, so I decided to go back to my original plan of getting rid of this one and decided to bring this in its place. But before I send this along, I thought we'd all look at them side by side so we can see what's different and what's the same. So, of course, the original edition is in a glossy two-part Hay House box. We have a similar box from the new one. However, it has more of a matte finish. Both are two-part boxes. You can see similar things on the back. And so let's dive in. I'm also curious if the price changed. It did, but, you know, that may just be a kind of a change in the way decks have been priced over the past couple of years. So, okay. So we will look at the guidebooks first. And I did pull this out already because I wanted to see if there was any messages in here about why Colette chose to change the deck. And there really wasn't. So I'm going to go by, and you can see this one is a little thicker, which I think is a product of, yeah, this one does have card images. This one does not. Other than that, I didn't really see any differences. Colette did not mention in here, at least on a quick scan, why she chose to redo this deck. So what I was starting to say is, forgive me, I attended a workshop with her and she mentioned that this was being re-released, and she said that while she still loves this deck, she too felt the need to free it from its borders that had become a little dated, and also that she felt that the original deck, while it was beautiful in intent and everything, that there were things that, you know, we learn on our journey as we grow, and she wanted to be more attentive to diversity and cultural differences and things like that, and to reflect that through changing some cards. So that is what I heard Colette say. You know, that's not official or written down anywhere, so take it or leave it. But other than that, let's look at the cards, shall we? So we'll start with the card back. Is there a difference? There is. So this is, you know, just a bit different. We've got the same symbol that's on the front of the box here, and this has a bit more of like a, almost kind of a compass. It's actually, it looks very similar in the official design, but we've gotten rid of the little hearts and the fire and kind of have toned that down and gone with that. These cards are very glossy. These cards are slightly glossy. They have that kind of newer Hay House, almost semi-gloss finish. So they're about that. As far as thickness, this is pretty thick. This is maybe a hair thinner. Let's look side by side. It does appear that they are slightly thinner. Like this deck looks a little bit shorter, but not by a ton. So overall, I probably do like this newer Hay House cardstock better. So we have that. So as you can see, the main difference here is going to be the format of the cards themselves. It does look like this printing, the colors are a bit brighter. My light is coming in this way, so let's just double check that and see if it changes if I move it. Nope, these cards do this. This printing does look a little bit brighter. So we've got the borders are gone, the font on the number has changed, and then of course our label is otherwise different. But otherwise, the art is a little more zoomed in, it looks like here as well, simply because of going borderless. We have Gentle Gardener. So same thing. This is really just a difference in the border and style of the card. Wizard of Awareness. Spirit of Place. I love this card. And I'm not going to talk too much about the cards themselves because I really just want this to be a chance for people to see side by side what is the same and what is different. If you'd like me to do, you know, some sort of reading with this or a more thorough walkthrough, of course, please just let me know and I can make that happen. This card is so pretty though. I do like that I think some of the subtle details, you know, are just easier to see on this card because you're not distracted by all this scrolliness. And I do see why they used this border originally. You know, it was designed, it was called the Enchanted Map, so it has that like parchmenty feel, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, you know, it does look a little dated, and so many oracles now and tarot are going to borderless designs, and I think that's what the market really is demanding. So, you know, that's part of why that was changed. I love this card, but I love me some dolphins. Okay. We have not found any different cards yet, but I'm guessing they're coming. This, yeah, see, this to me is so much more enchanting and powerful, but they're really both quite beautiful. If you have a chance to get this version really affordably, I encourage you to do that because they're both great decks. But let's just kind of keep looking. Ugh, I love this card. Field of Dreams. Okay, so this is a change in some artwork. So we've added some diversity here. We've changed up the position of the fairies. And not everybody is white, which I definitely appreciate. Intention. Because I think, you know, I've talked about this on the channel before, and I admit it's something I didn't notice in decks at first, because when everyone looks like you in a deck, you don't always notice that you're not in it. You don't notice it because it's much easier to notice when you don't feel represented than when you do. And so for me, that wasn't always a thing I paid good attention to. And what I have found, especially as I've started doing readings for other people, but also just as I've started expanding my own worldview, I really appreciate seeing people with different skin colors and different body types, and all of those things are really important. Okay, here's another difference. Okay, this is an awesome, awesome change. Okay, so similar, again, we're adding diversity. I also just think that this card is much more joyful. I love the draping of the costuming here. Her smile, you know, she's so excited by that butterfly, and this feels really joyful to me. And she almost looks like, she has like almost a pained expression on her face for me. So I really think this was an excellent choice. This actually could become one of my favorite cards in the deck. I think this is really powerful and beautiful. Spark. Education. Commitment. This is interesting. So this is different. And again, we have two different skin tones here. And I think that, to me, these hands are also a little more gender ambiguous, which I also appreciate, because I think then anybody can find their relationship or their hand on this card, you know, whereas this is, to me, clearly much more of a feminine and a masculine hand. Cleaning house. Heal the ouch. I always loved this card. It's just so adorable. Protecting treasure. Follow the leader. Unexpected visitors. Wide open. That's beautiful. Details, details. Strength. Ooh, that's a pose. I would not be able to hold that. Sad embrace. That is a very, very powerful card. Very powerful. Coming apart. Sacred pool. Wishing well. Talisman. Here's our compass. Moonlight. Magical map shifter. Again, here's a change. Really appreciate that as well. you know, even with the additions, you know, this deck obviously still has a lot of white people in it, but I do appreciate the change. And I know that Colette mentioned it's very expensive to change a card design because they have to kind of rehire the art, whereas just changing it over is like just changing it to borderless is just like a graphic design shift and a new print run versus paying the artist to create a whole new piece of art and going through the many like drafts of it to get it right. So I think it's really a big deal that she wanted to do this change, that they felt it was important, and really a step in the right direction of making sure that everyone can be seen in their decks. You know, do we still have a long way to go as an industry? You bet, but every step counts. All right, so that is the side-by-side version of the two decks. I hope this was helpful to you if you have been trying to decide between the two versions. Okay, I lied. I said we weren't going to do a card reading, but I changed my mind because I was putting it away and it felt like it wanted to talk. And I just love doing readings. So I'm just going to pull a card for us all. Now, this message for you is, of course, exactly perfect in this moment in time for whatever you may be feeling or going through, whether you're watching this video now or into the future. Know that the universe has love for you, and let's just see what we have to say today. Ooh, this card says stuck in the mud. So we're going to look at the guidebook quickly, and then I'll give you my own thoughts as well. It says, you're being invited to stop and savor the wonder of your life. It says, becoming stuck is sometimes the only way to trick yourself into slowing down and looking around you. In fact, this is a sign that you need to shift your focus away from what you're doing and place your attention elsewhere. Struggling will only get you to even muddier places. Now, the guidebook goes on. I'm not going to read the whole message because I kind of want to give you my own thoughts. And this is a call to like embrace something different today. Okay, so we get stuck in our lives when we keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? And expecting a different result. And that is where we get into trouble. And you can see this elephant is struggling and stuck. And it's almost like the bird on the back is like going, hey, why don't we try going this way? But the elephant can't see that, right? So I know for so many people in the past year, really now, there's been a lot of feeling of stuckness, of being out of control, of feeling like you can't figure out what to do next or what to do at all because of so much control and everything being crazy with the pandemic. And then, of course, if you're in the United States, we've obviously had some political turmoil over the past couple of years. So, and then I think that really has manifested in people's personal lives. I know it has in mine, just in a feeling of helplessness. And it's easy to get like to the point that you're feeling trapped. And so the question becomes, what can you do that's different? And we talk about this a lot in Determined to Shine classes and in our retreats. Like, how do we make a shift to where we want to go and what we want to do next? So I believe the challenge of this card and the message for you in this moment watching the video is to think about, what can you do today to start changing the story? Like, is there a new habit that you want or a current habit that you need to let go of? Or is there that thing like nagging at you that you've been trying to fix that maybe shouldn't be fixed? Like, maybe it just needs to be set down and you need to go look for something else. Like, whatever that is, and I think if you're watching this video, you probably have a sense of what that is for you. Think about where you want to go instead, what you want to do that's different. Like, find a new path, pick up the new hobby, try the different art supply, whatever it is, give yourself a new direction to look toward so that you can get unstuck and move forward and create that joyful life that you are so craving. So that is my message for you guys today. I hope that it helps. I hope that you enjoyed the side-by-side walkthrough. And just remember, you know, the darkness is temporary. It's been a hard time for a lot of people, but bright, bright, beautiful days are ahead. And I am so excited to move forward into 2021 with all of you. I'm wishing you so very much love and magic, and just know that you are safe, you are loved, you are right where you are meant to be, even if you are feeling stuck. Sometimes we have to get stuck in order to get unstuck. So that said, if you enjoyed this video, please, of course, consider subscribing or liking the video. Leave me a comment. Those things help a lot. And just know that until next time, I'm sending you all the best wishes from my heart. And until then, may you always remain determined to shine.